Welcome to my first look at the Constellation, a Tier 7 American battleship. It is a Lexington Class battlecruiser, which we will get into in a little bit during the highlight part of the video. The ship has torpedoes, 16-inch guns, and a really quick movement speed, and you can see right there it has radar, so that is something that is pretty much big time. And with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Azur Lane, New Jersey. Base trait is freedom through firepower. Main battery shells that travel over 10 kilometers will deal extra damage here. And the inspirations are Andrew Cunningham, concentrated devastation, which will improve the main battery shell grouping. And then we have Robert Juillard for bore, which improves the battleship's armor-piercing shell penetration multiplier to make the base trait of Azur Lane, New Jersey even more devastating. Flammable Cannoneer is the first skill, which improves the battleship's main battery range and shell grouping, but it is at the risk of catching fire. Then we have Gyrating Drill Bits, which improves the battleship gun traverse speed and its armor-piercing shell damage. And then for the third skill, instead of Firefighter, I went with Second Thought to improve switching between shell types by 55%. So that really helps out when you want to switch between HE and armor-piercing. And then for the fourth skill is Don't You Just Love It, which deals more damage with Citadel strikes. Whoa, 12.5% there. And then it improves the main battery dispersion of another 5%. So this whole deal here is kind of devastating, kind of a big time skill right there. And then I went with Will to Rebuild. I'm still using that, which improves the amount of HP recovered when the repair party is active by 73%, but it is taking a hit at 40% there. And a special effect will auto repair when the HP is equal to or less than 20%. You can see it recently got nerfed down to 0.3% per second. It used to be 0.5. And it is active when you're within 2.75 kilometers of an allied ship, ranking all the way up to legendary rank 4. We'll max it out to 3.5 kilometers. All right, and then the upgrades for the Constellation. I went with main battery mod 2, which improves the main battery traverse speed, and that is the best option here out of AA gun fire control. And a secondary mod, I decided to go with traverse speed. Then we went with the propulsion mod. Time taken to reach full power when accelerating is cut in half. And then we went with Concealment System Mod 1. Detectability range is improved by 10%, and the incoming fire dispersion is improved by 5%. And yeah, this doubles up on your fully upgraded camo or skin. And then here we got the Epic mod going for the Artillery Plotting Room. No problem getting to 30,000 damage here with the Constellation with Azur Lane, New Jersey. And yeah, main battery dispersion is improved by 10%, and it ratchets up 2% for every 30,000 damage, and that can ratchet up 5 times. So you could possibly get another 10% improvement to the main battery dispersion. Once you get 150,000 damage, the Constellation is very, very accurate. Let's check out the loadout. High explosive shells, armor-piercing shells, and torpedoes, which we will get into in a bit. Damage control party, duration is 20 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and we have an unlimited number of those consumables. 3 repair party consumables, which will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 547 hit points per second. Runs for 16.8 seconds with an 80-second reload time. And then we have 2 radars here. The only other battleship in the American port with a radar is the Missouri, but it has a 40-second radar. So let's check this one out. Detection of ships is 9.9 kilometers. That's pretty good. Duration is 30 seconds. Reloads every 150 seconds, and there are 2 of those consumables. And here I went with the catapult fighter consumable to kind of help me spot a little bit rather than the spotter or the secondary targeting. We'll check out the specs of the secondary targeting a little bit, but for now I'm going with the catapult fighter. Duration is 90 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. I'm not running any boosters right now, but that could change depending on the match. The ship does come with a Type 9 premium permanent camouflage. See, detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. And then the specs. Survivability hit points is 63,300. Armor is 19 to 457 millimeters. Torpedo damage reduction is 20%. And then for the artillery, you have 8 16-inch guns. They reach out to 18.1 kilometers with this build. Reload time is 27 seconds with a traverse time of 24 seconds, and that is pretty darn good. HE shell damage has a maximum of 5,700 with a 36% chance of setting fire. Armor-piercing shells have a maximum of 13,640, and secondary armament, not too much to write home about there. And then for the torpedoes, you have 2 launchers of 3 torpedoes each, reload every 98 seconds. Maximum damage is 16,633. Range is 9.2 kilometers, which is pretty good, but they are pretty slow at 55 knots. AA defenses, looks like you will definitely clear the sky with the Constellation if an opposing aircraft carrier wants to try that out. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 29.9 knots, and we did take a hit with the accuracy build with Azur Lane, New Jersey there. Turning circle radius is 830 meters. Rudder shift time is 15.3 seconds. And in concealment, detectability range by sea is 13.1 kilometers. Range by air is 11 kilometers. And if you're firing into smoke, it's 14.7 kilometers. And let's check out the armor view. And yeah, the bow and the stern is 27 to 28 millimeter armor thickness and can cause 308 millimeter and lower armor piercing shells to ricochet. So 16-inch guns will definitely go right through that armor. So you want to be mindful of that going up against other battleships, especially ones with big guns. Let's remove the Citadel and see what that looks like. Looks like it is right at the waterline, and it is mostly wrapped with 34 to 75 millimeter armor, which can cause armor-piercing shells to ricochet at appropriate angles, and it will resist HE shells of up to 203 millimeters. You can see right in front on top there, it's 76 to 160. And yeah, I would be very careful in the ship. Obviously, you don't really want to go completely broadside if you can help it. You want to stay angled to really minimize that. And really the big problem is the thin armor in the bow and the stern, but that's what makes it a battlecruiser, to give it the speed to outmaneuver opposing battleships is what the battlecruisers are supposed to do, and be able to obliterate cruisers with battleship guns while maneuvering almost as quickly as cruisers is kind of the idea there with the battlecruisers. Overview, big guns. The ship is armored with high caliber main battery guns, and yeah, 16-inch guns is pretty big time for a battlecruiser. Whoa, fast, above average maximum movement speed, and 29.9 knots is pretty fast for an American battleship, but this is really a battlecruiser, so you got to keep that in mind. Powerful AA defenses, and it certainly looked like you would clear the sky with the Constellation, as we saw. So then the Constellation is a Lexington Class battlecruiser built under the Naval Act of 1916 after the end of World War I, one of the largest and fastest warships of her time. Year of design was 1919, and there were no ships in the series. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. Okay, here we go. We have the Constellation with the Azur Lane, New Jersey commander and the Epic mod enabled to help out accuracy, artillery plotting room. And as far as the Lexington Class battlecruisers go, 6 battlecruisers were planned: Lexington, Constellation, Saratoga, Ranger, Constitution, and United States, CC-1 through CC-6. Construction was started in 1920. Due to the Washington Naval Treaty, construction was stopped in 1922, and the Lexington and Saratoga were converted from their original battlecruiser design into those aircraft carriers, and the rest, as they say, is history. All right, this is great. Nobody's showing up so far. Spotting is spectacular. And both destroyers are going over to the right over here. I guess when I'm in a destroyer and I see where the other guy is going, when there's 2 destroyers in the game, I take the other side. But whatever, can't do anything about it anyway. And there's a guy, possibly wisely, getting the heck out of Dodge. Let's see what that does. It's not going to do anything because I didn't aim far enough ahead. So much for auto aim. Firing blind at the Atlantico. He was up for just a second. I caught a glimpse of where the intercept point is. Ooh, looks like we got some hits. Not a spectacular amount of hits though. Let's see if we can do it here on this one. All right, let's see if we aimed properly. It might be good. All right. 10,000, 11,000 on that one salvo. Man. There's Iowa here. Looks like we should be able to get some hits. All right, we got the epic mod going, and so here, this is good with this epic mod rework. No way do we get 2 Citadel hits here, and it looks like we weren't going to necessarily. But we can certainly ratchet the heck out of the epic mod with the accuracy. All right, 2 Citadels. That is big time right there. And yeah, we have the epic mod ratcheted up to the 2nd level now. So let's go for some more. Maybe get level 3 on the epic mod. Should have went for the Iowa. Big time mistake. Right there, I'm shooting some torpedoes in the gap. You never know. Now he's turning 2. But we might be able to get this Yorck. Yeah, it looks like we will. Yeah, this guy is wide open. He's just looking like he can get obliterated right here. Big time. So let's see what these do. Ooh. 5 shells hit. That is big time right there. All right. This guy is not going to make it. He's going to be gone pretty soon. 90,000 damage. We are up to level 3. Ah, he made it behind the island. That is just terrible. Oh. But he is gone, and we are up to 90,000 damage, so we've ratcheted up the epic mod 3 times so far, so that's looking pretty good. Yeah, we are just getting chunked big time here. Right, here comes some torpedoes, but it looks like they are short because, yeah, they're going to stop right there. But the Sinop and the Iowa look like they're definitely doing the will to rebuild thing. And if you look at the mini map, I am kind of like on my own. I don't have any teammates around me. So this is good for them, kind of bad for me, but I am not going to run right out into harm's way and let those guys totally pick me apart. And that sound right there for any new players in the game is when your ship receives a Citadel hit. So congratulations to the red team player that nailed my Citadel. That's an unmistakable sound. So yeah, anytime you hear that, your Citadel just got rocked. Okay, these guys are sort of facing the wrong way. The Sinop is not, though. Looks like those might miss. Yep. 100,000 damage, looking pretty good. There I'm checking out the torpedoes. Yeah, I did fire off my radar. That was kind of an accidental thumb hit on the radar button. And that thing happens when you're in the middle of the battle, it seems like. A lot of times you're going to accidentally hit something. But there, we got them with 3 solid hits right there. We are up to 110,000 damage. Looking pretty good, like we're almost at level 4 for the epic mod. And that's definitely going to increase that accuracy. And there it sounds like we got another Citadel hit right there. So these guys are really going to town on us. And I do hit the last heal. And I don't have any friendlies around me for help with will to rebuild. It's still a little useful, even though it recently got nerfed. Set the radar, see if the guy pops up who is spotting us. Scharnhorst. See if we can max out the epic mod. Nope. Right, so we are out of radar, and we're trying to use the island right here in front of us to stay hidden. Scharnhorst looked like it was going pretty good there. But we took a shot at that guy, and total miss. Wow. Here the Sinop looks like he could go on a decent salvo right here. And yeah, these guys are definitely staying together. I'm going to stay by this island here and use that as protection. But now the Sinop looks like I definitely could take him out right here. All I need is to get a decent hit. And yeah, we're up to epic mod level 4. We're up to 122,000 damage. One more like that should take him out. Look at that. That is definitely a broadside. 6 seconds. Maybe we'll get it. We're going to do it. Should do it. All right, we got him on a Citadel hit, no less. Wow. Okay, so now we just have the Iowa. He does not have his will to rebuild protection going, assuming that's what was going on there. And I still don't have a friendly close to me at all. But it looks like the Scharnhorst is coming over to save the day for the Iowa and redo the will to rebuild deal that they had going. So I think these guys are definitely playing the will to rebuild game. We did get a high caliber medal and 129,000 damage. We are almost maxed out here. 15 more thousand damage inflicted, and we will max out the epic mod. And yeah, these guys are nose on. This is definitely not ideal for me. I need to straighten up. And well, the problem is when I looked at the armor view, I did mention that I didn't think you really should be bow tanking here. This guy is within range of those torpedoes. We are going to let them go. And he's going more broadside than not, but I am backing up to try to give him my nose. I've gotten too many Citadel hits already. And all right, we're up to 150,000 damage now, and we maxed out the epic mod. 155,000 damage, and we're definitely down there. Only got 9,000 health left. Torpedoes are going. Are we going to get a hit? It didn't look like we would get a hit. But this looks like we can get some big time damage on the Iowa right here. Let's see, 155. Are we going to do anything? Up to 165 damage. So that is a pretty good showing right there. And the torpedoes were definitely not a hit. But we're still kind of bow tanking here. And yeah, I'm telling you, the bottom of the Citadel, I think it was definitely vulnerable to getting hit. The bow armor is at 27, 28 millimeter, and that is not good. We're down to 4,000 health right now. We're still backing up. And yeah, we're demonstrating this bow situation right here. And you can see they went right through the bow and wiped us out. And well, there you go. That is my first look on the Constellation. And you can definitely cause some massive damage with the ship. But you do want to be careful of bow tanking like you just saw. And yeah, even going broadside, the armor that we saw in the armor view did not really protect us all that well, because we definitely got rocked with those Citadel hits. Well, anyway, hopefully that will show you a little bit about the ship. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.